الحمد لأهله والصلاة على أهلها أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأذن في الناس بالحج يأتوك رجالا وعلى كل ضامر يأتين من كل فج عميق ليشهدوا منافع لهم ويذكروا اسم الله في أيام معلومات على ما رزقهم من بهيمة الأنعام فكلوا منها وأطعموا البائس الفقير صدق الله العظيم. وقد روي عن أنس رضي الله تعالى عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال الحج سبيل الله تضاعف فيه النفقة 700 ضعف أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My dear brothers, elders and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today our topic is the benefits of Hajj. Hajj is a pillar of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Holy Quran لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُ. The people attend their benefits. If we think about the Hajj, it was obligatory in 9 Hijri. All farais and all pillars came before Hajj. Why? Because Hajj needs lot of sacrifice, health-wise and wealth-wise. If you are healthy, you can go by walk. It is not farz on you, because you have not a wealth. You are wealthy but you are not healthy. You can't go for Hajj. You should send anyone to perform Hajj. So my dear brothers, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it last obligatory pillar? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a tawfiq, an opportunity to take advantage from other worships like salat, prayers. In the prayer only requirement is health, not wealth. In fasting also the requirement is health, no wealth. In zakat the requirement is the wealth. But in Hajj it is badani and mali, health and wealth. Both are required in this verse. And if you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put this pillar after fasting. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us tawfiq to make practice, to fast, to leave the eating, drinking and sexual life for 1 month in the daytime. And in last 10 days Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked to Muslim men and women also, you come in my house and do i'tikaf. The ladies will do i'tikaf there in the house and men will do in the mosque. You live for my sake, for my sake. You come in my house and stay. You don't go at home. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered, you should leave your native place. And you come. You will pray at your home, at your native place, in your mosque. You will fast at your place. You give zakat at your place. But pilgrim Hajj, you can't do anywhere. Only Makkah Mukarramah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to show his house. So his house. You come to my house and see. Mean, Maulana Thanvi Rahmatullahi alayhi said, it is mushahada. What is mushahada? Mushahada kisko kehte hain? To watch. To watch. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to give us mushahada. Any Haji who go to Mecca, he watch the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Hajj is one biggest school. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala trained his believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, وَأَذِّن فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ. Proclaim the pilgrim to all people. They will come to you on foot and on every kind of lame camel. يَأْتُونَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ. They will come from far away, from mountains, from all world. Why? لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ. Maybe they watch their benefits. They attend the benefits of Hajj. What are the benefits of Hajj? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not describe and emphasize, not open. What are the benefits? The companion of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, said, this riwayat reported by Ibn Abi Hatim, he said, the benefits in this world and benefits hereafter. The benefits in this world, I will describe after hereafter. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he was not give the virtues of Hajj before he performs Hajj. He was choosing the prayer and other worship in front of Hajj because he did not perform the Hajj. But when he performed the Hajj, he was saying the Hajj is greatest. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi ने जब हज नहीं किया था तो हज को ज्यादा फजीलत नहीं बतलाते थे, दूसरी इबादत को फजीलत देते थे, लेकिन जब हज कर लिया तो वो कहते थे कि हज ज्यादा फजीलत वाला है. Why? Because there are lot of worship in the Hajj. Firstly, the benefits of the hereafter. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give lot of rewards because of Hajj. It is mentioned by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hazrat Anas radiallahu anhu reported this hadith. Al-Hajju sabilullah. The Hajj is the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A lot of people say the madrasa is way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tabligh also way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Hajj also the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. تُضَعَّفُ فِيهِ النَّفَقَةُ. Anyone who spend the money in the Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward 700 times reward. 700 guna Allah ta'ala ata farmayega. This one hadith. Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala reported one hadith, Al-Hajjur Raqib lahu bi kulli khuffin yada'uhu ba'iruhu hasana. Anyone who performed the Hajj on his transport, on the camel or anywhere, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give reward on every step one need and one sawab. In other hadith, an Zazan said, Mariza Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Ibn Abbas was sick. He gathered his children and he said this hadith, which was he listened from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Says, Sami'tu Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam yaqul, I heard to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam who he was saying, Man hajja min Makkah mashiyan hatta yarjiya ila Makkah kataballahu lahu bi kulli khatwatin sabamiyati hasana. Anyone who performed the Hajj from Mecca by walking, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will write on one step 700 rewards. And kullu hasanatin mislu hasanatil haram. And every deed and every neki will be multiplied the neki of haram. And someone asks, Wama hasanatul haram? What is the neki of haram? And what is the reward of haram? He replied, Bikulli hasanatin mi'atu alfi hasana. 100 times, 100,000 times. 100,000 times. It is the reason ulama said, anyone who prayed in the Makkah Haram Sharif, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give reward 100,000 times. We should think those people who do not obey and not pray in the Haram behind the Imam, they lost lot. My suggestion, we should think why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fixed them in Masjid Haram, in Masjid Nabawi as an Imam. Those people who are Imam in the Haramain Sharifain, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen them. Allah has chosen. So those people who pray behind the Imam in Haram Sharif, they gain on one prayer 100,000 prayer reward. Second thing is, by Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive the sins. First was the rewards. It is first benefit. Second is maghfirat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive by Hajj all sins, small sin, which related with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because those sins who committed because of his servants, hukukul ibad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never forgive without the permission of that guy. So maghfirat, Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala said, Man hajja falam yarfut walam yafsuk raja'a ka yawmin waladatu ummu. Anyone who performed the Hajj without any mistake, he did not commit sexual and not by words any sin, he will come back like he born today. जैसे आज पैदा हुआ है, ऐसे वो Allah, any person who born, he has no sin. He is masoom. The children are masoom. Like that guy, he will come back after Hajj, he has no sin. رَجَعَ كَيَوْمٍ وَلَدَتْهُ أُمُّ. And Amr bin As radiyallahu anhu reported, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال له عند الإسلام. Amr bin As radiyallahu anhu, when he decided to enter in the Islam, he went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, I want to enter in Islam. he spread his hand to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when decided to spray his hand, he became back. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what? Why do you do like this? He replied, O Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I had committed lot of sin before Islam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ama alimta anna al-Islam yahdimu ma kana qablahu. Did you not listen? Do you not know? Islam wipe out all sin which committed before Islam. وَأَنَّ الْهِجْرَةَ تَهْدِمُ مَا كَانَ قَبْلَهَا. And migration also wipe out all sin which were committed before migration. وَأَنَّ الْحَجْ يَهْدِمُ مَا كَانَ قَبْلَهُ. And Hajj also wipe out all sin which were committed before Hajj. And third hadith, Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala reported this hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-umratu ila al-umrah kaffaratul lima bainahuma. To do umrah again and again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wipe out the sins which committed between two umrah. Second thing, one is reward, second was maghfirat, and third is the accepted. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the supplication of Haji. Allah ta'ala dua kabul karta hai Haji ki. Hazrat Jabir radiyallahu ta'ala said, Al-Hujjaju wal-Ummaru wafdullah. Hajis and who do Umrah, they are the delegation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are delegation. Like the delegation go to king and they want anything, king will fulfill their needs and their hajah. Like this way, those people who go for performing Hajj, they are the delegation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Da'ahum fa ajabuhu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited them. They accepted. Always I say, nobody can say I perform Hajj myself. No. Without invitation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nobody can go. I was in Arafah and it has given the speech. The Indian people and Pakistani, lot of people there. So I said, you did not come yourself. You were invited from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without invitation, anyone go to for Hajj. So after dua, one Pakistani man came and he said, I am very poor. I was staying at one rich man. So other one rich man came and he said, you send him from me for pilgrim Hajj. I said, I have not a passport. Go, we will do. And I came for Hajj. So this hadith, what said? Al-Hujjaju wal-Ummaru wafdullah. Hajis and who do Umrah, they are the delegation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Da'ahum, Allah ta'ala invited them for ajabu. They accepted. Allah Quran insane. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu stajibu lillahi walir rasuli idha da'akum. Oh, who believe, you accept the invitation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He call you. Many people say, oh, make dua. Allah has given you money. You are wealthy man and you delay. It is your fault. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is the meaning of tawfiq? What is the meaning of tawfiq? Tawjihul asbab lil khair. It is the tawfiq. तौफीक किसको कहते हैं? तौफीक ये मतलब थोड़ी है कि तुमको गाड़ी में बिठा दिया जाए, प्लेन में बिठा दिया जाए, है? It is not तौफीक. तौफीक तौजीहुल अस्बाब नहवल फ़ैल. To give the cause of deed, it is the tawfiq. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you money, you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you make it easy. So it is the tawfiq. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Hujju qabla Allah tahujju. You perform the Hajj before you can't perform Hajj. It is hadith in Jami Saghir. Hujju qabla Allah tahujju. I remember 16 years ago when I was here, many people performed the Hajj in $6,000, $7,000. Today, 30,000, 33. It's big money. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the money, means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. And if you delay, you don't think the price come down. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Da'ahum fa'ajabuhu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited them. Those people accepted it. وَسَأَلُوهُ فَأَعْتَاهُ. And they asked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah has given them. When Allah ta'ala invite anyone to his house and he does not fulfill his need, it is impossible. Because one ordinary man who invite anyone at his home, and if that guest asks something, he will never reject, because he himself call him to his house. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala call anyone at his home, his house, how he will reject and how he will stand him empty. So my dear brother, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the dua of Haji. In one other hadith, Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-Hajj wal-Ghazi wafdullah. Haji and Mujahid, they are a delegation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In da'awhu ajabahum. If they ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if they supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept them. Wa in istaghfaruhu ghafara lahum. And if they ask the forgiveness, Allah forgive them. This is the third item, ijabatud dua. The fourth is mubahat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala proud on this ummah. Where Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha said, Inna Allah ta'ala yubahi bit ta'ifin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala proud on those people who do tawaf. The tawaf. And in other hadith, Hazrat Abdullah ibn Amr radiyallahu anhu said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Inna Allah ta'ala yubahi malaikatahu ashiyata arafa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala proud on Muslim ummah, on Hajis, on the day of Arafah. On the day of Arafah, 9 Zil Hajjah, Ashiyata Arafah. Yaqul, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Unzuru ila ibadi. Unzuru ila ibadi. You look at my servant. Atawni shu'san ghubra. Atawni shu'san ghubra. They come to me. How? Unclean clothes. Paraganda hal. देखो उनकी हालत हाजियों की, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व फखर करता है. Why he do a proud on in front of Farishta and Malaika and angels? Why? Because the angel said, why do you create this human being? They will fight in this earth and they will kill. Why do you create them? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replied them. Unzuru ila ibadi. Look at my servant. Atawni shu'san ghubra. गुबार आलूद है उनके कपड़े, बड़ा गंदा हाल है, बाल बिखरे हुए हैं, इस हालत में वो मेरे यहां आए हुए. Second thing, this was fourth. Fifth, हक़ शफ़ाअत. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the chance to Haji to ask forgiveness for other people. He want for anyone. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allahumma ghfir lil hujjaj. Oh Allah, you forgive the Hajis. Waliman istaghfara lahul haj. And you forgive those people. For those people, the Haji asked for them the forgiveness. Haji जिसके लिए इस्तिग़फ़ार करे, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam की दुआ. Whose supplication? Whose dua? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made dua for Haji. Allahumma ghfir lil haj. Oh Allah, you forgive the Haji. Waliman istaghfara lahul haj. And for those people, for them, the Haji asked forgiveness. Allah unki bhi maghfirat farma. This riwayat reported by Imam Hakim, and he said this riwayat is very pure and it is the condition of Muslim Sharif. And special thing for Haji. Anyone go for Hajj, he find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. वो अल्लाह को पाता है. Anyone go for Hajj, he meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There was a arif and a pious man. This story is written by Ismail Hiqqi rahimahullah in Ruh al-Bayan. It is the tafsir. He said, there was a pious man and he decided to go for Hajj. He has a son. This son asked, he has a son, he said, Ila aina taqsid? Where are you going? What is your purpose and aim? He said, Ila baytillah, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That child said, that gulam and bacha, they said, Anna man yaral bayt, yara baytal, yarallah. Who will see the house of Allah, he will see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. भाई जिस किसी के घर जाओगे तो घर वाले को तो मिलोगे क्या नहीं? Anyone who go at anyone's house, he will meet the owner of house or who live in the house. So that child said, anyone who see the house of anyone, he will see the who live in this house. Means you will see the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَقَالَ يَا أَبِي لِمَ لَا تَحْمِلُنِي مَعَكَ. He said, oh my father, why do you not take me with you? Why do you not take me with you? فَقَالَ أَنْتَ لَا تَصْلِحُ لِذَلِكَ. Hey, you can't go. You are small. You can't come with me. فَبَكَ الْغُلَامِ. The child started to cry. And he took him with him for Hajj. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ إِلَى الْمِيقَاتِ. When they reached the border of Miqat, where the people start the ihram, when they reached there, ahrama wa labbaya. They wear the two chadar and two clothes, and they said, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka, labbaik innal hamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulka la sharika lak. So they became a muhrim. They started their Hajj by ihram. Falamma shuhid al-bayt tahayyara ghulam in the road. When they watched the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their child lost his hosh, sense. उसने खो दी अपने होश के मैं कहां आ गया. फखर मैता. He died there. When he saw the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he died there. فدهش والده. His father also lost the sense. وقال أين ولدي وقطعة كبدي. Where is my son? And where is the piece of my liver? मेरा कलेजे का टुकड़ा कहां गया? He asked. فنودي من زاوية البيت. He listened the voice from the corner of house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أنت طلبت البيت فوجدته وهو طلب رب البيت فوجد رب البيت. You ask your maqsad and your purpose towards the house of Allah, you found it. But his aim and purpose was to see the house of Allah, the owner of house, Rabb al-Bayt, the Malik, owner of this house. So فَوَجَدَهُ. He found it. فَرُفِيَ الْغُلَامِ. They picked the child and they listened. One was saying, لَيْسَ فِي الْقَبْرِ وَلَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. He is not in the grave. He is not on the earth. He is not in the paradise. بَلْ هُوَ فِي مَقْعَدِ صِدْقٍ عِنْدَ مَلِيكٍ مُقْتَدِرٍ. But he is near Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
in the Maliki Muqtadi, who is powerful and who is a honor. Fi maq'adi sidqin, the sitting of true, sitting of fi maq'adi sidq. He is in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Hajj is biggest madrasa and biggest school. We can learn lot of things. This is the overall benefit of Hajj. If we do deep study and check on every single amal, we can find lot of wisdom, lot of hikmat. For example, first action of Hajj is ihram. Ihram. What is ihram? How become a main muhrim after the talbiyah? And what is the benefit of talbiyah? Anyone say, Labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. I am a praiser. Ya haziru. For who you will say, I am praiser? Anyone call you? Anyone? Where is Ahmad? I am here. Where is Muhammad? I am here. So, labbaik means I am praiser. Oh Allah. Mean he talked with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala call him and he say, oh Allah, I am here. From this time, he started his Hajj, talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. And this word show the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, प्यार and मोहब्बत. हाँ, बार बार किसको कहते हैं कि मैं हाजिर हूँ, जिससे प्यार होता है. लब्बैक अल्लाहुम्मा लब्बैक, ला शरीक लक लब्बैक, नो पार्टनर है, तेरा कोई शरीक नहीं है. हाँ, you should listen this thing. When a person says talbiya, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, he should say la sharika lak labbaik. If you say la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, so if you say I believe in Allah, it is not enough. I believe in Allah and reject all things except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Huh? فَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ وَيُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدِ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى. सिर्फ अल्लाह को मान लेना काफी नहीं है, अल्लाह के गैर की नफी करना जरूरी है. इसलिए सिर्फ लब्बैक अल्लाहुम्मा लब्बैक से काम नहीं चला, ला शरीक लक लब्बैक कहना पड़ा कि तेरा कोई पार्टनर नहीं है. मीन हाजी and he go to others place for fulfilling his need. अरे भाई हाजी होके ओझा के पास जावे, वो तो मुवाहिद होता है. हाजी हज कर लिया, अल्लाह से बात उसकी हो गई कि लब्बैक अल्लाहुम्मा लब्बैक ला शरीक लक लब्बैक. Hafiz ibn Qayyim rahmatullahi alayhi has written in his book Tahzibul Sunan 21 benefits of this talbiyah. Specialist of talbiyah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik la sharika lak labbaik. Innal hamda, tamam तारीफें हैं. Innal hamda wan ni'mata, and all blessing and all grace for you. From this point we can understand Hajj is how greatest action in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. कितना कीमती है. यहीं से हाजी अल्लाह से कनेक्टेड हो जाता है इस फर्स्ट एक्शन में. इन्नल हम्द वन निअमत लक वल मुल्क, all countries and mulk it's your. ला शरीक लक, अगेन ला शरीक लक. मालूम हुआ कि हाजी और तौहीद के खिलाफ करे, ये नहीं हो सकता. He will never ask anyone except Allah. But today, my dear brothers, we should check our aqaid. By Hajj, we clean our aqaid and our beliefs. It is the reason you enter in the Hajj by ihram, and ihram will confirm by talbiyah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika lak labbaik. Listen, in the Hajj, many people in Hindi say, where did you, वो कहाँ गया? कहा हज पढ़ने गया. हज पढ़ने गया. if you think to read very less in the Hajj. हज में पढ़ना बहुत कम है, करना ज्यादा है. तवाफ करना, सई करना, हलक करना, रमी जमरात करना, ज़बाह करना, वकूफ अरफा करना, वकूफ मुज़दलिफा करना. These all action are to doing, to do, are doing. ये सब करने के हैं. लेकिन what we say, हज पढ़ने. Haji should know only this talbiya. Because in tawaf, in sa'i, is not fixed dua. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was saying between the Hajar Aswad and Rukn Yamani, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. In one riwayat, Allahumma qanni'ni bima razaqtani wa barik li fi wa qluf li ala kulli ghaibatin li bi khair. These two duas proved by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in Arafat, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika la lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu yuhyi wa yumiit. So, but talbiya, it is important. First, without talbiya, you can't enter in the ihram. And in the ihram, in the talbiya, there are a lot of benefits. For example, in this talbiya, the love and muhabbat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And third is ikhlas. Inna alhamda wa la sharika lak. La sharika lak. La sharika, 2 times. Those, if Haji do against the Tawheed, he should check. Some we had made mistake. Because Haji वो उल्टे काम नहीं करेगा. आज अल्लाह हमें माफ फरमाए. Many people do, they alhamdulillah perform the Hajj, but they go to Oja hui against the Sharia, against the Tawheed, against the Iman. But they go. Even those people who love beer, and they do. So, biggest lesson from Hajj is clean our aqaid. Second thing is tawaf. In the tawaf, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send his 120 rahmat on the Baytullah in the Kaaba. Those people who do tawaf, they gain 60 rahmat. Those people who pray, they gain 40 rahmat. And who watch the Kaaba, they gain 20. To watch Kaaba, it is also worship. Ulama said, to watch, there are 4 things. There are 4 things. If you watch, it is counted a good deed. You watch the Quran, Mushaf, Holy Quran. If you watch, it is sawab by eyes. If you watch your father, parents, with love and muhabbat, it is also reward. It is the sawab and good deed. If you see the pious alim, it is also good deed. And if you see the Kaaba, it's also good deed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent his 120 rahmat on the Kaaba and is spread 60, 40 and 20. Second thing is in the tawaf, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala reported, أول شيء بدأ به حين قدم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم مكة أنه توضأ ثم طاف أو كما قال. When Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached at the Makkah, and first amal what he did, it was he made wuzu and he did tawaf. He tawaf kiya. It is the one place. You can't worship this worship in the world anywhere. No, no way. There's no place. तवाफ एक ऐसी इबादत है, तवाफ बिल बैती कस्सला. To do tawaf around the Baytullah, it is like the prayer. But in the prayer, you stay at one place. And you can't talk in the prayer, but you can talk in the tawaf. But this worship will be at one place only. It is in Makkah. Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullahi alayhi, lot of people saying a ghost park. Ghost, it is the one status of awliya. One guy ought, I worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. If anyone do this worship, my wife will out from my nikah. कसम खाली एक आदमी ने कि मैं ऐसी इबादत करूं कि जिस वक्त वो कोई इबादत करने वाला ना हो, मैं ही अकेला करूं. अगर ऐसा नहीं हुआ, ऐसी इबादत मैंने नहीं की, तो मेरे निकाह से निकल जाए. ऐसे कसम खाली एक आदमी ने. He went to lot of ulamas. Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullah alayhi suggested for him. He said, you go to Mecca and you say to people, please you wait, because I want to do tawaf. You can come out from your oath, because Baitullah is one in this world, in this dunya. And if you stop the people, there will be no anyone who do tawaf. So the tawaf, what is the meaning of tawaf? Tawaf, for example, anyone who love to one, anyone, he go and he show his love, and he go around his house. He show his love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the reason we can't do tawaf any qabr, anywhere we can't do tawaf. Tawaf will be only at the Makkah, at the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Haji, when reach at the Makkah, and he do first tawaf of Baitullah. And because of Hajj, those people who go for Hajj, they can find a lot of historical. Our history is, my dear brother, very clean. If you go to Makkah, and you can find out where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born. In the library we can check. आप हज में जब जाओ या उम्रे में, तो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम जहां पैदा हुए थे, आप उस जगह को देख सकते हो. हाँ. एंड हजर अस्वद, the black stone. हाँ. It is from paradise. In different hadith, Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Al-Hajar al-Aswad min hijarati al-Jannah. The black stone is among the stones of paradise. Jannat ke patharon mein se ek patthar hai. Those people who go and do istilam, or they kiss, the meaning of kissing the black stone mean you shake hand with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. हदीस है, हदीस में जो आदमी हजर अस्वद को बोसा लेता है या इस्तिलाम करता है, उसका मतलब यह है कि वो अल्लाह ताला के साथ मुसाफा करता है. And Jabir radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-Hajaru yaminullahi fil ard. The black stone is the right hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this world. Yusafihu biha ibadahu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do musafa, shaken hand. Who do istilam, who kissed Hajar Aswad. And it was very, very white, like the snow. जैसे बर्फ होता है ना, ऐसा white था. It is proved by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kana abyaz kalma. It was a white like the water. Walaula ma massahu an rijsil jahiliya ma massahu du ahadin illa bariya. If those people who were mushrik, who were involved in the shirk, if they did not touch the Hajar Aswad, anyone who has a problem about health, if he touched the Hajar Aswad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him the shifa and good health. In other hadith, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu said, Hajar Aswad min hijaratil jannah wa kana ashadda bayadan min as-sad hatta sawwadathu khataya ahli shirk. Because the sin of mushrikeen, it came black. They were touching. If we touch, many people say, this is the question. Many people say, this guy before her, he was very pious. हज से पहले बहुत अच्छा आदमी था, लेकिन हज के बाद से बहुत नालायक बन गए. बात कहते हैं some हाजी do not follow the Sharia and they live rough life. Always I say, the Hajar Aswad and black stone is the, what is? Skinner. Skinner. When we come in front of this Hajar Aswad, they skin. And they show how kind of you, how kind of people you. आप किस दर्जे के आदमी हैं. I say small story. There was one small animal, उसको भेड़ के कहते हैं, जो जानवर को खा जाता है, बकरी को खा जाता है, उसको what say wool. So is child, one farmer saw this child and he brought at his home and he was feeding it, and this wool childhood was going with his goats in the farm. Like this, the grass, the goats eat the grass. This wool child would also eat grass. It has no idea what is my future. But day after day, it came big. And one day, they were to pond to drink water. All goats put their mouth in the water, and wolves also put its mouth in the water. He saw his face, its face. And he understood, oh, my face and this goat's face is different. So my duty is different. Then it had long nail. Same time, it hunted the goat. जब उसको अपनी हकीकत मालूम हो गई कि मेरा ये काम नहीं है. So anyone who come in front of the Hajar Aswad and black stone, he understand how kind of how I am. मैं कैसा हूं वह इसके में पता चल जाता है. अब यहां आके अगर नेक होता है तो बहुत नेक बन जाता है. Who was the pious before Hajj, he will be pious, and who was not good after Hajj, also he took the wrong way. So Hajar Aswad, it is a ruby stone. Yaqutatun min al-Jannah. Hadith Sharif mein aaya, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-Ruknu wal-Maqamu yaqutatana min yawaqit al-Jannah. Al-Rukn wal-Maqam, Hajar Aswad, black stone, is the rubies of paradise. Jannat के कीमती पत्थरों में से एक पत्थर है. Anyone who go, this stone pull the sins of who touch it. After it, the well of Zamzam. In this world, by very greatest water and very holiest water. Which water was the holiest? Anyone? Which water? Their Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in in big group, and they have not a water, a little bit water. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam put his hand in that top, in this bowl, and the water started to come out from the finger of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Ulama said this water was the holiest water. And second number, Zamzam. Zamzam is it is the holy. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Ma'u Zamzam lima shuribala. The water of Zamzam is for which aim and which purpose you drink. If you want the shifa, good health, you intend before drinking, Wallah, I ask the shifa. In hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ma'isha radiallahu anha said, Zamzam hafnatun min janahi Jibreel. The Zamzam came because the wind of Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam. And in other hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Ma'u zamzam lima shuribala. Fa'in sharibtahu tastashfiya bihi shafat Allah. If you drink the zamzam water for your good health, Allah will give you good health. وَإِن شَرِبْتَهُ مُسْتَعِيزًا أَعَاذَكَ اللَّهُ. If you drink the zamzam water for protection, asking the protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you. وَإِن شَرِبْتَهُ لِتَقْطَعَ زَمَاكَ قَطَعَهُ اللَّهُ. If you drink the zamzam water, the water cut your twisty, pyas bujha de, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cut the twisty. وَإِن شَرِبْتَهُ لِسَبْعِكَ أَشْبَعَكَ اللَّهُ. If you drink the water of zamzam for as a food, for filling your tummy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will fill your tummy by zamzam. Hazrat Abu Zar Ghifari radiyallahu ta'ala who stood 1 month without food in Makkah. Only he was drinking zamzam. Two drinks are as a food. One is zamzam and second is milk. Hazrat Abu Zar Ghifari radiyallahu ta'ala stood without any food 1 month and he became stronger by zamzam. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَإِن شَرِبْتَهُ لِسَبْعِكَ. If you drink for your filling tummy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill it. وَهِيَ هَزْمَةُ جِبْرَائِيل وَسُقْيَا إِسْمَائِيل. So my dear brothers, there are a lot of lessons in the Hajj also. In this Amal and in Hajj. Overall, some ulama said, by Hajj we can understand the value of zikr. فَإِذَا أَفَدْتُم مِّنْ عَرَفَاتٍ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ عِندَ الْمَشْعَرِ الْحَرَامِ وَاذْكُرُوهُ كَمَا هَدَاكُمْ وَإِن كُنتُم مِّن قَبْلِهِ لَمِنَ الضَّالِّينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered especially Haji to Hajj, you do zikr. When you come back from Arafat, you do zikr. Many Haji go and they read only 2-3 times Talbiyah and they stop. Ulama said, no, you say again and again. The men will recite loudly and ladies recite slowly in their heart. Dil mein padhegi. Mardon ko zor zor se padhna hai. Hajj and tawakkul. In the trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Haji should be mutawakkil and trust doing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ke andar tawakkul karne wala hota hai Haji. And it is a reminder the day of judgment. When the Haji go in the Maidan Arafat, he remind the day will come. Today 3 million are here. When they come from Adam to last person of human being, we are at one place. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask, what did you bring and what did you do in your life? So this the cloth of ihram remind the people that they will come. On your body, the clothes without swing. सिले हुए कपड़े नहीं होंगे. ऐसे ही आपको चादर ओढ़ के जाना है. So Hajj remind us the day will come. You should wear like this cloth. And also Hajj teach the value of ulama. Hajj teach the value of ulama. I saw in Makkah, lot of people come, oh, ye ho gaya. I committed this sin. I committed this. I committed this. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Hajjatul Wada, the people came, oh Rasulullah, I did that. Oh, ifal wala haraj. Ifal wala haraj. Ifal wala haraj. They do any no problem. No problem. And by Hajj, we can understand the value of Sohbatul Salihin. Because those people who came, they are Haji. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given put in our nature. We pick from other people their quality. So when Haji meet to different culture people and different countries people, what they do? They ask about Islam. And when Haji go, always I say, anyone who did not perform the Hajj, he did not perform anything. हाँ, जिसने हज नहीं किया उसने कुछ नहीं किया. जिसने हज किया वो दुनिया के लोगों से वहां मिलता है, लोगों की इबादतें देखता है. And we Haji feel the strong in his heart. Oh, lot of Muslim people. दुनिया में मुसलमान बहुत है, कम नहीं है. इससे आदमी की एक हिम्मत बढ़ती है और वो सीखता है हाजी एक दूसरे को देखकर जिंदगी कैसे गुजारी जाती है. अगर हाजी है और उसको इस तरह की डिसिप्लिन मालूम नहीं है तो फिर वो तो जानवर है. हाजी सब चीजें एक दूसरे को देखकर सीखता है. एंड व्हेन ही गो टू पेल्टिंग ऑफ स्टोन, शैतान को मारने जाता है, that time he should understand how Ibrahim alayhi salam, he left his family, one wife and one son in this desert. How he has the confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no food, no water, and how he had the trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the well of Zamzam, right, for Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam. When the people do sa'i, they time remember how was that time, thousands of years ago. Second thing is, the shaitan, when stone and we throw the stone in the Ramejam, in Jamarat, we make the shaitan fun of. Zalil ho jata hai shaitan. Why? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ma ru'iya shaitan. The shaitan was not shown any day. He was small and he was zalil and ahkar and anger. The day of Arafat. Why? وَمَا ذَلِكَ إِلَّا لِمَا يَرَى مِن تَنَزُّلِ الرَّحْمَةِ وَتَجَاوُزِ اللَّهِ عَنِ الذُّنُوبِ الْعِذَابِ. Because shaitan saw, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had forgiven these people who came in the Hajj. Allah forgive. I tried all life to guide wrong way. But he came in Makkah and he performed the Hajj. He came in the Arafat and he asked forgiveness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave him. So he is anger. He got anger. Why? Because of forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And other way, if we think about the dunya, the benefit of dunya, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Tabi'u bayna al-hajj wal-umrah, فَإِنَّهُمَا يَنْفِيَانِ الْفَقْرَ وَالذُّنُوبِ كَمَا يَنْفِي الْكِيرُ خُبْزَ الْحَدِيدِ وَالذَّهَبِ وَالْفِضَّةِ. You do perform the Hajj again and again, and perform the Umrah again and again, because these two things send away, far away, the faqr, the poorness and sins. पैदर पे हज और उमरा करते रहो, इसलिए कि ये दो चीजें आपकी फकीरी को दूर कर देती, मोहताजी को दूर कर देती, गुनाहों को दूर कर देता है. जैसे कि भट्टी के अंदर लोहा अगर जंग वाला सोना चांदी डाल दो तो कैसा उसका जंग निकल जाता है. कहा हाजी जब हज करता है, when the haji perform the hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the poorness from this haji far away, and also the sins also. In other hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Tabi'u bayna al-hajj wal-umrah fa inna mutaba'atan ma baynahuma tazidu fil umri wal-rizq. Those people who perform the hajj again and again and umrah again and again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the barakah in the life of those people, and barakah in their rizq and food and their need also. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give a barakah fulfilling their needs. वयनफी अज़्ज़ुनूब मिन बनी आदम. In other hadith, Hazrat Anas radiallahu anhu said, Al-Hujjaju wal-Ummaru wafdullah. Hajis and Umrah doer, they are the delegation of Allah. Yu'tihim ma sa'aluhu. Allah give them what they ask. وَيَسْتَجِيبُ لَهُمْ مَا دَعُوا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept their dua. وَيُخْلِفُ عَلَيْهِمْ مَا أَنْفَقُوا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give on 1 dirham 100,000. If you spend in the Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward of 1 dirham 100,000. Itna Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ata farmate hain. Why? Allama Manawi said, because the Hajj is the brother of jihad. There are a lot of difficulties. People who go for Hajj, they leave their native place, their children and their wife and good food and a lot of sacrifice like the jihad. Who go in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they also carry on a lot of trouble and lot of mashaqqat. So these are the benefits of Hajj according the dunya and according the akhirah. If we think about every single amal, we can find lot of benefits. And some ulama said, for cleaning our heart and our soul, Hajj has very strong influence. हज का बहुत एक बड़ी ताकत है जिससे आप अपने दिल को भी साफ कर सकते हैं. दिल साफ होता है जिक्रुल्लाह से, दिल साफ होता है सेक्रीफाइस से. तो जिक्र भी होता है इसमें, उसमें सेक्रीफाइस भी होती है. और इससे बड़ी बात कि अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला को का घर देखता है आदमी. अल्लाह के घर को देखने के बाद अल्लाह की याद ताज़ा होती है कि एक वक्त वो भी आएगा कि अल्लाह का भी दीदार होगा. चलो घर दिखाया है तो एक तो दिन आएगा कि वो खुद अपना दीदार करेगा. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand the value of Hajj, and those people who have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us opportunity and wealthy, Allah make them wealthy, they should go for Hajj. Uma tawfiqi illa billah. Dur Sharif पढ़ ले. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma lakal hamdu kama anta ahlu wa lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhik wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma lakal hamdu fil ula wa lakal hamdu fil akhirah. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi adada khalqihi wa rida nafsihi wa zinata arshihi wa midada kalimatihi. Bismillahilladzi la yadurru ma'a ismihi shay'un fil ardi wa la fis sama wa huwa as-sami'ul alim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ए अल्लाह हम सब के गुनाहों को माफ फरमा. इलाहुल आलमीन हमारी खताओं से दरगुजर फरमा. ए अल्लाह हम सबको सीधे रास्ते पर चला, बुरे रास्ते से बचा और हमेशा हर हाल में तेरी याद में लगे रहने वाले बना. अल्लाह हम सबको अपने घर की ज़ियारत अता फरमा. इलाही मकबूल हज नसीब फरमा. हज में जाने वालों के सफ़र को आसान फरमा. आफियत के साथ उनको वहाँ पहुँचा और मकबूल हज नसीब फरमा. अल्लाह जो फज़ाइल कहे गए या अल्लाह हम सब मोहताज हैं, हम सबको अपने घर की ज़ियारत बार बार नसीब फरमा. और जो जिन लोगों ने हज कर लिया अल्लाह उसको भी कबूल फरमा. और जो काबिल है जिनको हज फर्ज हो गया है उनके लिए भी जाना आसान फरमा. अल्लाह जिस साथी ने आज स्पॉन्सर किया है अल्लाह उनकी जान माल इज्जत आबरू में खूब खूब बरकत अता फरमा. अल्लाह उनके दर्जात को बुलंद फरमा. उनके जो मरहूमीन हैं उनकी करवत करवत मग़फ़िरत फरमा. या अल्लाह उनकी जान में माल में इज्जत में आबरू में बरकत अता फरमा. उनको शिफा अता फरमा, आफियत अता फरमा और उनके मक़ासिद हसना में कामयाबी नसीब फरमा. और जिन हज़रात ने पकाने में खिदमत करने में जो भी ताउन किया अल्लाह उनको दिन दुगनी रात चुगनी तरक्की अता फरमा. उनकी भी जान माल इज्जत आबरू की हिफाजत फरमा. उनके मक़ासिद में कामयाबी अता फरमा. इसी तरह से अली मेमी के जो खुसर गुजरे उनकी मग़फ़िरत फरमा. अल्लाह उनके पसमानदगाओं को सब्र जमील की तौफीक अता फरमा. इसी तरह इस्माइल घाची के वालिद साहब गुजर गए, या अल्लाह उनकी भी मग़फ़िरत फरमा. या अल्लाह उनको भी जन्नतुल फ़िरदौस अता फरमा. या अल्लाह इनकी करवट करवट मग़फ़िरत फरमा और इन दोनों के रिश्तेदारों को सब्र जमील की तौफीक अता फरमा। ऐ अल्लाह मौत से पहले पहले हमको भी तैयारी करने की तौफीक अता फरमा। ऐ अल्लाह हमारी मस्जिद को दिन दुगनी रात चुगनी तरक्की अता फरमा, तमाम किस्म के खुराफात से हिफाजत फरमा। या अल्लाह अपने फजल से नमाजियों को खूब इलाही या मस्जिद में आने की तौफीक अता फरमा। ऐ अल्लाह तलबा को भी मदरसे में आने की तौफीक अता फरमा। इलाही हमारे मदरसे को भी आबाद फरमा, मस्जिद को भी आबाद फरमा, आबाद करने वालों को भी आबाद फरमा और सब हाजिरीन मजलिस में मर्द औरतें सबकी जायज़ तमन्नाओं को पूरी फरमा, सबकी परेशानियों को दूर फरमा, सबके मकासद में कामयाबी अता फरमा। ऐ अल्लाह जो मांगा है वो भी अता फरमा, जो रह गया वो भी अपने फजल से अता फरमा। ऐ अल्लाह हमारी टूटी फूटी दुआ को महज अपने फजल से, अपने मुबारक नामों की बरकत से, अपने हबीब सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के सदके में कबूल फरमा। रब्बना तक़ब्बल मिन्ना इन्नका अंतस समीउल अलीम व तुब अलैना इन्नका अंतत तव्वाबुर रहीम। वसल्लल्लाहु तआला अला खैरि खल्क़िही मुहम्मदिन व आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि अजमईन। सुब्हान रब्बिका रब्बिल इज्जति अम्मा यसिफून व सलामुन अलल मुरसलीन वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन।